quiet seaside town, an evil laid to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Tabletop Gold, another exciting episode of our series, The Roots of Ruin. Welcome to the show. My name is Lars Casteen. I am the Golden Tyrant, and I'm joined tonight, as always, by Zoe Chernicoff.
Good that time, Lars.
Good that time. Our Matt Humphreys is here.
Good golden time, Lars.
Oh.
And everybody else.
Robin Lange is here.
Good your time, y'all.
Thank you. And David, the Tin Man Chernicoff, is here as well.
Good that time, Lars. Hello.
Good that time. Pivotal time on the series. Interesting things happening in the story. Twists, turns, dramatic developments.
Wild stuff.
Wild stuff. Stuff that we've been building up to for a long time that we're now cashing those checks. Our ass wrote a check, and now our ass is cashing it. Who writes the check when your ass cashes the check? I always forget.
You right? Don't write a check. Your ass can't cash.
Right.
That's how. The
and that's
saying
like
goes,
literally
I
like your
believe.
butt. It's not just like calling somebody like your ass. Like he told my ass to go to Washington.
You better have a good butt, Lars.
Okay.
Dang.
And that's our show.
true. That's the show. But before we get into our exciting series, there's an important conversation we need to have about a word that is used in a lot of different ways. And I have a definition for it that I think is the perfect definition for the word. This is a word that people use all the time to mean all kinds of different things. It's a word that people use by feel, but they don't necessarily know exactly what it means. It's one of those words that you can't quite put a pin on. And I believe that I have put the pin on it. That word that I believe I have a definition for is cool. I believe I know what it means to be cool 100% of the time. Are you intrigued? Are you interested? Do you want to know more?
Yes.
I feel like it's not cool to ask, though.
According to my definition, it is slightly uncool to ask.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah. I was too eager.
Then
I
it's
take
a
it
good
back.
definition so far, because that feels
Okay.
that feels right to all of us.
Here's my opinion. In order for something to be cool, it has to be two things, or it has to appear to be two things. It has to have two semblances. It has to be vivid, and it has to be effortless. Or it has to appear vivid and has to appear effortless. If something is both vivid and effortless, or something appears both vivid and effortless, it is always cool. And if it doesn't, then guess what, baby? It's not.
Please further define vivid.
Yeah.
in your usage.
Vivid. Something with a bold sensibility that is eye-catching, something that is indelible, something that is hard to ignore, something that is vibrant, with lots of personality, lots of detail, lots of anything that you want to attach to the word vivid. I'm hanging my hat on the word vivid. But I will help you understand what that word means. But I will not be held accountable for every single thing that I just said. Thank you.
I feel like you're describing a thing that is cool versus cool attitude or behavior.
Disagree.
Well,
I think I'm describing
I'm struggling with
everything
vivid.
that's
Because like if someone
Yeah.
is described as cool, I don't know that vivid is a word I would use necessarily.
Give me name a cool person. Throw a behavior, or let's stress test this
Lars,
thing.
I
Shall
know no
we?
cool people. I know no cool people. I am not
Keanu
cool.
Reeves.
Yeah.
I think generally accepted as a cool dude, right?
Vivid and effortless.
Is he vivid?
In like, I think so. Yeah. Dude's like he's very handsome. He's very fashionable. He has like a really cool haircut. He speaks in a way that seems, that has all kinds of character to it. People do impressions of him, but do people feel like he is ever trying hard? Like, not really. I do think it's been threatened. The Keanu Reeves coolness has been threatened a little bit by those like behind the scenes shots where they show him like riding a horse around. I don't think that's that cool. I think that it's like he's trying a little bit too hard while he's riding his John Wick horse. I think John Wick is cooler when he's just walking around.
Okay.
But that's my cross.
Well, but that almost reifies your definition even more, because the aspect of that kind of behind the scenes shot that seems to undermine his coolness is the fact that you can see the effort that he's putting into the
absolutely.
So like the glimpse of the effortfulness starts to cut away, and you're like, no, get that back away. And as soon as it's back on and you're looking at the finished product, then it appears.
I'm going to say broadly,
effortlessly.
I think behind the scenes featurettes for Hollywood films are not cool. I'm just gonna like plant a flag there and be like, I think that any behind the scenes shot, like when you see Captain America standing around at a set and he just looks like a dude standing there and there's like a guy feeding him spaghetti or something like that, that's not cool. That sucks.
So
like, I hate seeing that.
Celebrities are just like us kind of ruins the cool.
No. That's not cool. I hate it. Get it out of here.
But they like Jamba Juice, just like us.
I miss Jamba Juice.
I miss Jamba Juice too. Jamba Juice
Jamba
not cool.
Juice.
Trying way too hard.
I
but
lived on
celebrities.
Jamba Juice for like 3 years. It was so good.
I will say the only Jamba Juice I go to currently is the one in Union
we're
Station in Washington, D.C., because it's right by the train I usually get on to go to and from Richmond. And
I've
they
been
are
to that one
not
many
trying
times.
very hard. I mean, I go, like they have my business, but I will say that, Lars, I don't know that they're trying that hard there.
And I'll say that if you're walking out of a Jamba Juice that you've just sort of stumbled into after having gotten off the train, you got a bright green drink coming out of Jamba Juice, and you look like you don't even care about it at all, I think that's cool. I think it's pretty cool to have a low effort Jamba Juice purchase.
All right. Okay. So contextually can be cool and have Jamba Juice, but Jamba Juice
God.
not inherently cool.
Imagine if you see somebody who does things in a cool way drinking a Jamba Juice. Like if you saw Keanu Reeves just like sitting on a park bench drinking a Jamba Juice, you'd be
Right.
like, this is one of the coolest things I ever saw.
What if
in
it's
my
a
life.
behind the scenes picture of Captain America, but they're feeding him a Jamba Juice, not the noodles?
I'm out.
No.
I'm out. I don't want it.
All right. Okay. This is good. We're getting some boundaries around this problem.
It's interesting too, because this is providing an answer to an adjacent question that has like occasionally floated through my mind, and it's just been like too white hot to actually look at for very long.
Okay,
Like
now's the time.
I've had to erect sort of mental walls around it, because it was too much to face. Which is, why is the word for cool? I think that there is a kind of feeling, a connected feeling between coolness as an attribute, as like in the literal sense,
Okay.
and
Yes.
the effortlessness that you're describing. Effort is activity,
It's hot.
and
Yeah.
it over time will generate
sweaty.
heat. It's right.
Yeah.
It's activity. It's movement. And then there's friction and there's heat and cool is like it's the It's
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah, it's a
removed,
dude
attached.
wearing a white t-shirt leaning up against a brick wall drinking a Jamba Juice. That's what cool is.
This, right, it's the Jamba Juice mostly. This
It's
is
mostly Jamba
reminding
Juice.
me of something from earlier in my day, which my day had enough parts that I had completely forgotten. Someone I work with, a good friend, introduced me to the word coolth.
Yeah,
Real word.
it is.
It's the
Cool.
state of being cool.
It's
Makes sense.
Oh, like the opposite of warm.
Exactly, is coolth.
Cool.
I like that.
It's not. It's not a
little
cool
bit
word.
hard. No,
Yeah, no.
it's a little.
Coolth itself is not.
It's more useful than cool, I think.
That's true.
We
Yeah.
discussed
And we
how
should-
also just saying it is impossible. Like you can't.
Cool.
Cool. That LTH is brutal.
Cool.
Well,
Cool.
Cool.
You're demonstrating such Cool.
He hath
Yeah.
the coolth.
And to reemphasize how uncool I am, David, you asked a question about where the word even comes from.
Okay, here we go.
Good.
And it is, so like most modern slang, it all has its roots in African-American musical culture.
Sure.
Essentially, it's from the 1930s, 1940s era, and I think it's a shortening of cool-headed.
Ooh.
So like,
well, there you
hey,
go.
like instead of being hot-headed, stay cool-headed, which then got short to stay cool,
Oh.
and then evolved from there.
I mean, maybe the last thing to say about this is like, how amazing is it that this is a piece of slang? I don't know if Gen Z or Gen Alpha are saying cool. They probably are. Like,
They don't even have slang.
Is it
They don't
still
even have
slang
slang.
at this point? I feel like it's so ingrained in the English language.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that I think it's for most English speakers around the world, there is a understanding of how to use this word in conversation that I imagine it's actually just a full-on word now rather than American slang.
It graduated
Yeah.
into just being a word.
It's just cool.
It is. I mean, when you say it like that, I'm not sure how cool it is actually. But
See, I can't make
What if she
anything
was
cool.
drinking a Jamba Juice, though?
Yeah,
Ah,
right.
you
If she
got
has
me
a
back.
Jamba Juice, then
I'm
it's
just saying.
future potential sponsor Jamba Juice.
Yeah.
Am I
Oh,
right?
I love that.
oh, I would love that.
Also cool temperature-wise, so literally cool.
You don't want a hot Jamba Juice. I'll tell you that much. You don't want to heat it up. If they're
You've
like,
never
do you
rolled
want
in-
us to put this through the toaster? You say no every single time.
Yeah,
at
decline
Jamba
the
Juice.
fruit soup when
You
offered.
don't want to
Cool-headed.
run in and be like, give me a hot Jamba. Stab!
Give me that hot Jamba.
Cool-headed literally and figuratively.
Well, there
Give
it
me
is.
that brain freeze, baby.
So this is just something to roll around in your head. If you want to poke holes in this theory, by all means, come at me. I want this to be stress tested. If you think there's something that's cool that doesn't fit my description or vice versa, please. Here's an uncool thing I can say. Leave a comment on the YouTube video for this show.
Boing.
Doink. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get into it. Let's play our game.
Calls to action are neither vivid nor effortless.
No, they suck and are bad. They
Yet-
make you feel like an idiot and don't work.
You deliver
Integral
them with
to-
such aplomb, though.
Communication.
Here we go. Let's do the thing. The Black Dragon Ravarex, the unseen force that spent over a decade working to undermine Magdaruna Skullcrusher's place within her community, has fallen. You stand in the dragon's den, a mud-filled hole from which Ravarex plotted at least his most recent attacks on Mag's spirit and reputation. As you delivered the final strike on Ravarex, something unexplained happened. The dragon fell to the ground, but Mag remained in midair, floating, motionless, and the typical red glow emitted by her otherworldly rage was replaced by an eerie blue. So, Mag is hanging there in midair for a moment longer. This blue energy is like oozing out of her as though it's like her very life force sort of pouring out. And then, a moment later, Mag falls down to the floor of the lair with a splat. And there's no further movement from Mag. What do you do?
So Trill, I imagine, runs right over to her since she's on the same level.
And
Yeah.
and Ao goes to the base of the cliff to sort of see if she can peer up or get any Mag.
Iston will lean over and extend his arm down to her to help pull her up.
So Ao shouts out Mag, gets no response in return. Trill takes a look at her, a quick once over. She is unconscious. She's breathing. She's alive, but her breaths are very short. Her body is very still, and she is not responding to anything that Trill is doing. When Iston reaches down to try to pull her up, it's dead weight. She's just like her arm follows you up,
Oh,
Your grip slips, and then her arm smashes back down into the ground.
I meant AO. Like to help
Yeah,
AO.
we don't want to help Mag too much.
That's smart.
I'm 10 feet down. I need some help.
I was surprised at how casually you said, I'm going to help her up.
Yeah.
Like,
Me
oh, all
too.
right.
That makes more sense. Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. That was that.
Okay. Well, so Istin helps Ao scramble up to this top level then.
Thanks.
And Ao kneels over Mag, doing some quick medical checks to see if she can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
That is a 31.
I'm going to say that means that Ao spends about 10 minutes examining Mag. And
Meanwhile, the tiny spiders are still down below going, "What's up with Mag? Help her!" Which
I
is
was
honestly a little
wondering.
agitating.
Wonder
Yeah.
if the spiders were still there.
Oh, yeah.
there's a time and a place, spiders. Come on. And I should mention that Fancy the Grothlet, as you turn your attention towards Mag, slugs her way back into the water.
Fancy.
One glancing goodbye behind her.
We barely knew
Single
ye.
tear shed. But yeah, after 10 minutes of examining Mag, you get the sense that there's like something has made it so that there's like a deep fatigue over top of her. You can help repair her body. You see wounds on her body from this fight with the dragon. You can help her recover from those, but you don't have any confidence that consciousness is something you can bring her back to. Ao senses that it's going to take rest.
Ice,
Maybe
compression, elevation.
Rest, that's right. But in a settlement is probably what it's going to take to get her back up and running. So you are left with a situation where Mag is unresponsive.
Question.
Mark, yes.
Could we put Mag in the bag of holding with the air to make her easier to carry out?
I think at this point, with how large Mag is and how like uneven her breath is, I don't think you have a lot of confidence that that's a safe option.
Even though the bag of holding is really well organized?
Yeah, but there's no space for Mag in it is the
okay,
problem.
gotcha.
This is why Marie Kondo suggests clearing things
Yeah.
out rather than getting more contained.
Mag
Ao
sparks
begins
joy,
thanking things
Lars.
randomly from the bag of holding and discarding them onto the ground.
How's Mark looking?
So Mark, as Ao is crouched over Mag, stumbles towards you and just sort of weakly calls out, "Thank you."
Mark, you're standing. Oh, this is great. I don't think we could have carried both of you.
Yay, Mark! The spiders shout.
He's holding his eyes up to it, or his hands up to his eyes, like the light is too much for him. He's like, I haven't seen light in so long. I feel like my eyes have become accustomed to this horrible darkness. And he just kind of sits down and is like focusing on his breath, like,
Cheryl looks at Istin. Istin, do you think you can help him up here?
Well, I'll certainly try. Hey, Mark, come here. Grab my hand. And he like sort of leans down over the edge with his legs on his belly to help Mark scrabble up the side of the ledge.
And Mark weakly takes a couple tries, jumps up, grabs a hold of Istin's forearm, and Istin is doing most of the work here, pulling Mark up onto the top ledge. And he says, I wasn't sure I would ever get out of that mud, so thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we got here as fast as we could. It took a little while.
Right. We had to spend some time exploring this, frankly, quite lovely encampment of drow. But well, maybe I'll save that story for another time.
And Ao claps Istin on the back. Good restraint, man.
Oh, I'm starting to learn when these things feel appropriate, you know?
Are we going to do some healing, Ao?
Yes.
I think while the healing's happening, Trill would probably be, we're in a dragon's cave with a horde. Like, Mag's not up right now, but I don't think she's going to get any worse. I think Trill would want to let Mag and Mark rest and start looking around to see if what there is to be taken out of here.
Okay, so as Trill starts searching, as Ao is tending to Mag's medical, or to the group's medical needs, Istin, Arment, what do you think Istin's reaction is to seeing this change in Mag's energy? This red that you've seen in Mag constantly, it's different. Does Istin have any theories? Does Istin want to bring this up? Like, what is this reaction here, do you think?
Yeah, I think Istin is kind of trying to search his mind to try and can I recall knowledge using Arcana to see, because it seems like some sort of arcane or magical shift in the source of Mag's
Give me Arcana, give me religion, give me occultism.
Cool.
Any of those.
I will give you blind Arcana.
Great. Okay, so you take a look at Mag. It feels like as Istin starts to look at Mag more clearly, it's like this blue energy is receding. It's like as Mag is going, as she is further and further from consciousness, this energy is dissipating. But you perceive when you touch Mag, speaking of hot and cold, you typically expect Mag's body temperature to be hotter as she enters this red hot rage. She is, in this instance, there's she is slightly cool to the touch. And as you trace your fingers around her, you get the sense that it's almost, you feel a sense of calm almost and peace. There's something about this rage that feels different.
Fascinating. Yeah.
As Ao does, how much healing are we looking at? Maybe 50 minutes, it seemed?
Yeah, I'm not sure if everyone was taking it initially, but I did, it's probably a bunch.
Okay.
There's
so
a
we're
20
probably,
and a 22 up above for anyone who needs them.
Yeah. Istin
I think
and Mag just need to finish up.
Okay.
There we go.
That'll do
So
it.
after about 50 minutes, Trill emerges, maybe struggling to climb back up this cliff with her arms full of stuff.
Got little legs.
And I'll say, if you want to spend time identifying these things, you can, or if you want to take them back to Ildaris, you can do that too. I don't want to tell you what to do, but the idea of Mag is here, you get the sense that she's out cold, and I'm not saying you need to spend 10 minutes identifying all of these items. That's something that can happen
Checks
later.
out. We would just put them in the U category of the bag of holding for unidentified.
Yeah, exactly. You find a mace. It looks very, very nice. I think you've identified a similar item, so I'll just tell you. This is a +2 striking mace,
Dang.
presumably claimed by some sort of adventurer that Ravarex feasted upon long, long ago.
Trill may actually put that in the mag category of the bag folding.
Trill is also bearing a couple of unusual objects. One of them is a strange iron kind of disc, and the other is a bat that looks like it's been preserved, it's locked in a kind of I don't know what the word is. It's in a death pose.
When you say bat, you mean the mammal.
The mammal, the bat.
Not a wooden
El
bat.
murcielago, as it is known in Italian.
Ooh.
So, maybe.
Yeah,
the
that was the name of one of the Lamborghinis, right?
Yeah, it was a Lamborghini. Yeah, bats. Let's just talk about bats for a second. It's crazy that in Romance languages, they're called murcielago. In German, they're called Fledermaus. And in English, they're called bat. There's no consistency.
No.
We don't know what we're doing with these things. Anyway.
I just
You don't know
noticed the
what this
Lambo
is.
Mercy. I didn't know that was the whole name. That's fabulous.
Murcielago.
Because I think the doors, they go up
Yeah,
like
they
a
got
bat's
the gull
wings.
wings.
Yeah, exactly.
Trill's also holding a scroll. And this scroll is a spell that contains a spell that she knows. It's Spirit Blast. She's able to recognize it. Spirit Blast is a spell where you concentrate energy and attack the spirit of a creature. So it's in the past, it's been a spell that is good for if somebody's possessed and you want to knock the spirit that's possessing them out, you cast Spirit Blast and it affects just their spirit.
Huh.
But it's like a big blasty damage spell.
Fun.
And Trill is also carrying like a mud-soaked bag filled with gold, silver, and copper pieces, totaling about 450 pieces of gold in this situation. The last thing that she fishes out of this bag as she's presenting this to the group is a goblet made out of blackened, super hard crystal.
Great. We spent a lot of money recently, so this is good.
Yeah, solid haul.
I just want to point out, this is not something, because you can't, if you're just listening, you would not know this. David is just sitting there with, instead of his red rage glasses, he has blue sunglasses on and is just sitting beautifully quietly, magging it up.
They are awesome.
And I just wanted to call out David for being excellent.
And being super.
I feel like there's no more baller move in a game than just to make somebody sit there quietly for a really long time.
Does
Sorry,
that mean
Dave.
you're the baller here, Lars?
I'm taking credit for it. That's right. It's me. That you like, that David's doing, that was my fault. Sorry, David, what were you saying? Nothing. Look at him. Look at this guy. He's
Now
not saying a
that's-
damn thing.
That's cool.
It's so cool. This dude is so cool.
The coolest.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry. If he had a Jamba Juice, then he'd be the coolest.
Oh,
but-
yeah. That'd be good.
So since we've got a hall, since we have to haul Mag back, I imagine we just go straight to Ildaris rather than stopping by the Caligny stronghold. Because
Yeah.
otherwise it's carrying Mag a lot of places, and I imagine Mag would want to tell the story of becoming Ravarak since we can get her on her feet again.
If only we had Mag around to help carry Mag.
I know! I
This
feel like
thing's pretty strong, you guys.
maybe Mark can help you out.
As a weak character, I wouldn't know.
Well, you see, this is the trap of dexterity builds, I can tell you.
Trill's just usually carried in Mag's pocket, so she's no good.
Mark is like, sure, I'll help carry her.
Like an arm.
And he stands up and he's like, oh, and he crumples back down into the mud. Like, this guy can walk. I'm gonna need a little bit of time to get moving, but he is he's useless aside from that.
We don't really have a levitate spell, do we?
Istin
I
will
will say that there are rules for dragging. You can drag somebody. You need two hands on a person or on a thing that you're dragging. You can move 50 feet per minute while dragging somebody, and you move them. Their bulk is reduced by half, which I think means that if Istin wanted to drag Mag, that's something he could do.
Let's do that.
Okay, great.
Do I need to make an athletics check for that, or
You don't. It's just like you
okay.
carry and you move 50 feet per minute.
Cool. All right.
As we're setting up our dragging and the spiders have faded away,
Yeah.
I just want to, again, say, Lars, I'm so glad that you gave us a different map for this fight and had this lovely big room, so just thank
Yes.
you. And that we weren't
You
just
know
in a
what?
closet with a dragon.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Are you guys leaving, right? Is that what you're doing? You're taking
Yeah.
Mark, you're taking the stuff, you're
Yes.
dragging Mark. Okay. So you head back out of the lair into the hunting grounds. And I want to show you the location that the map has you fighting this dragon in. I just want you to see it. I'm going to move Ao's token
Yeah.
so you can kind of see what this area would have looked like. Oh, Ao doesn't have light. Okay, I'm going to move Istin's token. This is what the area looks like where they
goodness.
wanted you to fight Ravarex. It's ridiculous.
That's insane.
It's a closet. It's like a
It's a
triangle.
closet.
This is such
a
a
death
small
trap.
space that it would only cost $3,000 per month to live in Manhattan.
That's right.
It's
You
it's
share a bathroom
ridiculous.
down the hall.
You do share a
Yeah.
bathroom. There is no sink. The water of the tap out of the tap is very hard to drink also. So anyway, yes. So you feel the mud up around your ankles as you are dragging Mag very slowly through this swamp that Ravarex has generated here. You don't get the sense that it's receded yet, but you know that with Ravarex gone from this area, this will eventually recede and be the sort of wild, biodiverse area that the hunting grounds is. You know, the fungus, the creatures, the plant life that abound throughout will eventually overtake this space.
And try to kill us.
Yeah, it's a glass half full or empty
Right.
sort of situation, ultimately. But you drag slowly 50 feet per minute. So over the course of a minute, Istin is able to move Mag just to the edge of this swamp. And Mark sort of stops to take a breather, rests his hand against one of these natural pillars that extends from the floor to the ceiling of this swamp. He's like, I want to apologize to all of you. I didn't know that Captain Jensen would be leaving you behind. I think of you guys as my friends, and I didn't mean to. I don't know. It just didn't feel right. I'm sorry that I got into this kind of trouble and needed to be saved. I don't know. I sort of feel like it's my fault for going along with it. Anyway, I just want to say I'm sorry.
Mark, don't worry. We won't tell Lardass.
Well, Mark, I don't think we ever blamed you for this. I mean, God, go back a few months and you saved us. It's only right that we come help you. We were so worried about you. We knew that you wouldn't have gone off if you thought anything, not untoward, but anything shifty was happening.
Yeah, they just said that this is how they do things, and I don't know. I wasn't in a position to argue with them, and then this ghost attacked us, and it's kind of a
Belcora?
blur.
Was it the ghost of a lady?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
And did she shout at you and she was super scary?
Yeah, and I jumped in the water and I started to swim away from her, and I felt myself losing air and starting to drown. And just as I saw the darkness creeping in around me, I felt something grab me by the foot and just pull me away.
Yeah, the darkness probably was. I mean, the black dragon is pretty dark. Maybe it was death. I don't know.
Well, it wasn't the end of the darkness. I was just in complete darkness for I don't know how long. The first thing I remember seeing was a light being shown by Magdaruna. And he looks down at Mag, who's being pulled by Istin. Istin's got his arms wrapped around her, pulling her forward through this mud. And he says, I just don't know how to thank you.
Mark, Ao tries to looks very serious and is trying to make sure he's making eye contact. Mark?
Yes.
While we're clearing things off our chest, I have a confession too. Remember how I named that weapon after you, and it was kind of weird, but I really stood by it?
Yeah, of course.
Was it a sword? Yeah.
Mark the sword.
The sword, yeah. I sold him.
What?
Yeah. He wasn't we leveled up, we got better. I just wanted to say it now because it's not that we don't value you. It's just I thought we were all saying stuff to kind of turn a new page, and I sold Mark the sword. But it's not. I value your friendship. We've moved past that.
I'm a little stung. You would sell a sword with my name on it?
I get that.
I guess you
I get that.
Maybe you probably used it a ton, though. You probably used it all the time. It was probably something you really liked using.
Mm-hmm. Just like many of my abilities and things I purchase on a whim when we're in town, it meant a lot to me and was an integral part of our adventure.
It wasn't just a thing you forgot about on your character sheet?
No, Mark, I don't do that. I use every ability, item, skill, you name it. I could list them all right now. But since Istin just showed such restraint before and not storytelling, I will show restraint. Oh, Istin, that's a rock. And Ao sort of makes up something to divert attention from how completely awkward this conversation has gotten.
As this conversation continues,
devastating reveal continues.
That was amazing, Zoe.
Wow. I didn't even remember that. Wow.
As Mark continues to grapple with the harsh reality of a sword named after him not getting used very frequently.
I mean, you don't name things after people. It's like tattoos.
You are now treading through the fungal outgrowths that dot the hunting grounds on the way back to Ildaris. You're coming up on an area where there are 2 clusters of mushrooms that you're sort of getting ready to work your way through. And you hear the faintest shout coming from somewhere in the darkness. Nyang nyang bonobo.
Oh,
And you hear the sound of a blade being
Uh-oh.
unsheathed. Roll for initiative.
Oh, boy.
Oh, geez.
Mag, get up! Ao shouts. Lars, can I say that at the moment Ao hears Nyang Nyang Bonobo, she turns into a kobold, whom she still believes speak Undercommon, even though they don't?
Yeah, you don't have any confidence that this is going to, like if this is kobolds, that might do something, but there's not an automatic, like,
Oh, I
kobold.
assume that this will be wildly off since they don't speak Undercommon, but I think that's
Okay.
just what she...
Yeah, for sure. Ao transforms into a kobold as you please roll for initiative.
Now that you've agreed to that, how do you feel about my rolling deception for initiative?
Yeah, no, I thought that's where we were going.
Good.
Say my first rodeo.
Yeah.
As you jump into action, as you hear this blade being unsheathed coming after you, Istin's hands are preoccupied with Mag's body. Ao spots in the distance a humanoid figure out out behind one of these outgrowths of mushrooms. And what you see is a humanoid creature with translucent skin. Like, you can see their skull in this like pale blue translucent skin. They're wearing like a black cloak and leather armor and are like perched behind one of these mushrooms. And Ao is like just able to make out one creature hiding in the distance. And none of the rest of you are able to see anything.
Can I say it feels like this creature is wearing a sexy pilgrim costume?
You can. Let's take another look at it. Let's
These
see what this
boots.
sexy.
I'm loving these boots.
These buckled boots.
Yeah.
Take that buckle, put it on a hat. You got a pilgrim.
Yeah,
you got
and
a
then
pilgrim
it's
there,
like kind of
partner.
these little like garter things and this sort of like corseted pilgrim bustier and then this little pilgrim cloak. But it's short, you know? It could be a crop top.
Puritan in the streets.
And that's
Berserker
maybe
in the
like a
sheets.
naughty Quill in their right hand.
There's definitely a sexiness to them.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I don't think you're off base at all.
Okay.
Ao recognizes this as an Urdefon.
Yes,
You have
that's what I
you
was
met
thinking.
Huglu.
Yes.
This Huglu was a mess,
Right.
but this is like a more put together creature of this
A
type. Let's go
sexier
through and
Urdefon.
see. Yes.
Could this- I was just going to say, could this be Kerfel or someone who's with Kerfel? I remember things.
It seems possible. Let's go through initiative and see how everybody is doing. Zoe, how did Ao do here with her deception initiative?
Ao got a 22, which is particularly devastating given that whole gambit about being a kobold and the fact that I get a plus 20 on deception. So,
Not a good roll.
Not a good roll.
You adopt this like kobold visage way too late, They see you. You're not tricking anybody, it turns out. How did Istin do here?
He did pretty good, actually. He got a 16 on the die, which I think means, he was so focused on carrying Mag, he wasn't paying attention to the conversation. And so he heard what was going on around and was able to, respond. That'd be my guess.
Got it. Okay.
And Mark is not fighting with us?
Mark is not fighting with you. He's like, I'm so torn up about that sword. And Robin, how did Trill do on this initiative?
Bad roll, 21. Bad dice, bad.
Okay. We are going to kick this off at the beginning of round 1. There is a sound that comes through the air like a... And Istin, at the last second, sees like a red bottle flying straight towards his face.
Oh boy.
And this is an attack against you from an unseen assailant. A 20 on the die.
Oh,
that's
no.
over.
Oh my God.
You gotta draw a
Nice. Is it the ace?
It's the 4.
It's the 4. So this is a regular crit. Oh, I pulled from the wrong side. Is this the ace?
That is
It's the queen. Okay, sorry. I'm cheating? I'm not cheating. Okay, great. So Istin feels this bomb smash into his face, and he is going to take critical damage. He's going to take 20 points of void damage. He becomes sickened 2 as this necrotic bomb explodes all over him.
Gross.
And everybody around him is going to take 2 points of void damage. That's everybody. That's all of everyone.
Even Mark?
Not Mark. Mark is not in this combat. I must insist that Mark not be in this combat. As that happens,
His
you
level's too
see
low.
you see a figure appear. You get a sense of where this guy that just threw this bomb is at you, and he's on the far end of this field of mushrooms. He starts to cast a spell and disappears.
Yikes.
A moment later, Istin again hears the sound of a projectile flying straight towards him. That one is going to be a 24.
That will not hit.
So that's because he's too far away. This bomb splashes into the ground in front of Istin, so everybody around takes 2 points of splash damage. So that's Istin, Mag, Ao, and Trill taking the splash damage. And then this creature, you get a sense, you see them, they sneak a little bit further to get closer to you, and they attempt to hide. So here comes a stealth check. This is versus everybody's perception DC. They disappear. Okay. So you know where they are, but you can't see them. It is now Istin's turn. Istin has been waylaid by 2 quick attacks. Just as Istin is getting ready to go, we go inside of Mag Daruna's mind.
Ooh.
What do you think, David, Mag experience at this moment as chaos starts to break out around her in her strange state?
I think Mag is only partially aware of what's going on, and generally,
Does she feel at peace?
yes,
at this
she's
moment?
very calm, and so the additional activity doesn't. She's aware of it, but she observes it more passively. Yeah.
Makes sense. Give me a DC 15 flat check.
The 12.
Okay. It's Istin's turn.
Istin is going to reach to his belt and draw out the wand of fireballs.
Okay.
And then he'll fire it off at this patch of
So Istin knows that there's one enemy here and one enemy here on either side of these two patches of mushrooms out in front of them.
right. Did he know where the one that critted on him came from? Was it down here?
Yes, he saw that creature critting, and then that creature cast invisibility, disappeared. Istin knows they're still there.
How far apart are they from one another?
They are. It's a great question. They are 30 feet apart from each other.
Okay, I think he can hit them both then with the wand of fireball.
Okay. Mark slumps over as Istin pulls out this wand. He's like, oh, I hate this place. Okay. So, Istin casts the spell. Boom! A fireball goes off, and you manage to catch three assailants here.
Sweet.
Would you mind rolling damage?
Not at all. 18 fire damage.
This explosion reverberates around the cavern, and all three of them try to hit the deck to not be affected by this fireball. We got a 31, a 21, and a 35.
All right. Well, I think the DC is 25. So, one success, one crit success, and one failure, right?
Okay, so you hear like cries of pain from the two Ordefons that are on this like northern part of the fungus, and they call it "Nyang Nyang Bonobo." And Mag remains lying there at Istin's feet. It is now the turn of another of these Ordefons, and it's the one that Ao was able to see. They think that they are invisible. They don't think that they've been seen. So they are going to toss out a bomb, this time at Ao. Ao hears this sound, and this thing smashes towards her. It's a 22 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay, so Ao's only going to take this splash damage, as is Mag and Istin. 2 points of splash damage as this like beaker crunches into the ground and this necrotic gas starts to escape from it. This Ordefon then slips into the fungus and attempts once more to hide. And they don't. All of you are able to still see this one Ordefon hiding in the fungus. It's now Ao's turn.
I was gonna let Trill go. She'll delay briefly.
Okay. It's now Trill's turn.
So are they hiding or are they invisible?
So this one down to the south is invisible,
Okay.
but they're still hidden from you. You know where they are because they didn't move after they hid. They didn't sneak after they cast the spell. These two are attempting to hide from you. One of them is hidden, meaning that you know they're there, but you can't see them. And then there's another one standing right next to them that failed to hide. You can see them.
Okay. So Trill, I think, is first going to do the thing she does to give us all a bust or a buff. And we're going to do Courageous Anthem with Lingering Comp. There's a decent roll. It would have been nice earlier. So that's a 39. So that's a success. So we've got Lingering Comp for 4 rounds.
4 rounds as Trill's song inspires
Nice.
all of you.
Thank you,
And-
Trill.
You're very welcome. And then Trill's going to cast Fairy Fire. I think she's going to put it where that invisible guy is.
Okay, so they are now not invisible. They are instead concealed, is the idea?
Yeah.
Okay, as this light showers down on them, they curse, Nyang Nyang Bonobo.
Which meant in that case.
What?
We can all understand now.
Huh? That's what it means.
Yeah.
Oh no, you
Ham.
didn't.
So that's Trill's turn.
Okay, it's now the beginning of... Oh, wait,
It's
is
Ao.
Ao gonna undelay?
Ao was gonna delay and take her turn.
Okay, cool.
Remind me what we know about Ordefon.
You know that they're kind of like vampires. They're not actually vampires, but they have a lot of qualities like vampires. They bite. They like chomp on people. They feed on people. They are the closest thing to being undead that you can get before you become undead. Basically, they're warlike. They're territorial, and they are committed to evil.
Annihilation. Do we know we didn't learn anything previously about like weaknesses or damage that they're
I don't think so.
all right, the Neo is gonna spend her first action recalling a little knowledge to see if she can figure out an angle on these biddies.
Okay, Ao squares up the one that she can see. This, I like society for this or anything else.
Yeah, I'll do society. Blind check?
Yes, please. And what would you like to know?
Any, like, damage that they're particularly weak to and or, if warranted, resistances.
Okay, and what else would you like to know?
Are you lying to me or did I do well? We never know. Weakest save.
Okay, weakest save. So they're weak to vitality damage. If you're able to get some healing energy, some healing magic, some life-giving magic at them, they will be weak to that. And their weakest save, you look at them, you square them up, you get the sense that their minds are not particularly strong. These are mere warriors who are good at blending into the shadows, but they do not have particularly strong wills.
Okay. Then let's have a little fun and see if this will save situation is the same. So on the one, Ao can see this one sort of to the west, but southwest in the middle.
Yeah.
She is going to try and cast Roaring Applause.
Okay. So you see this creature trying to hide behind a fungal stalk, but you can see the outline of their face, and you target them with a spell.
So I think you have to make a will save.
Okay, I'm going to make a will save. I roll a 23.
Ooh, that is a failure. This is such a good one. All right, so my flamboyant flourish invokes such powerful feelings in this here Erdefon that I am inciting cheers and applause. I just enjoyed them so much with the spiders. And Mark's kind of sour attitude is getting me down.
Oh no!
So this means that this Erdefon, whose name Lars, remind me, is...
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Jiminy.
We don't, because we don't know. We know that Kerfel is the leader of the Erdefons
Right,
down,
but this one is,
here.
this is Jiminy, yeah.
I think Ao is convinced that this creature's name is Jiminy.
So Jiminy begins applauding very vigorously, and as a result is slowed 1.
Yeah.
The applause is so involved that it has the manipulate trait, and this triggers reactions at the start of the target's turn.
Okay, and this is a sustained spell. I'm going to say that they know that hiding is now out of the option. They're like, "Nang, nang, bonable!" And they're like, "What's happening to me?
This is
Why am I
outrageous."
doing this? What's going on?" And the one next to them, the invisible one spits out like, "Nang, nang, bonable!"
Stop it.
Meaning like, "What the fuck are you doing?" So that's tremendous. We of course love a roaring applause.
We do.
Let's give a hero point. Let's give a hero
Yeah,
point to,
why not?
to Ao.
You're gonna hate editing that.
And
Okay,
the jazz
it's now
hands.
the beginning. It's the beginning of round 2, and you are looking out onto these fungal patches that these Erdefons are trying to sneak through to attack you in. One of them you're able to see; they're clapping. The other 2 have hidden from you. The one that is invisible, that is now concealed, gets the sense that they are concealed. They see the magic on them, and they decide to start moving towards you. They are creeping through difficult terrain because they're going through the fungus. So they decide to move up towards you a couple times, and they sort of weave their way through the mushrooms and wind up right next to Isthan.
All right. As they move into that square, he gets an reactive strike, doesn't he?
I don't think so. You're not holding your staff.
Oh, fair.
Because you had 2 hands on mag, then you pulled a wand
the
out.
wand. Yeah, that's right.
So I don't think you have reach. They're concealed, which means that if they wanted to, they could hide from you. That's what they're going to do. They're going to try to hide. This is what they like doing. This is what they're going to do. They get right up next to Isthan and they try to blend in. I accidentally rolled that publicly. They fail. Everybody knows where they are. They don't succeed
They're
in
so
hiding.
sparkly.
It's appropriate that that was a public rule since they failed.
Yeah. The one that's still hidden from you is going to do something similar. They dash across the fungus to across this gap between these two patches of fungus, get into some of the additional coverage, and they try to hide as well. They're not sneaking, they're just trying to hide. So here comes a stealth check as they try to hide from you. That's a critical failure. So they bump into one of these mushrooms, it breaks, and they're just like looking right at you. You get a good up-close look at these creatures. It's a skull in blue jello, just like looking at you, red eyes, like as they're like brandishing a knife that you see they're getting ready to slash out at you. Istin is about to take an action, but the peacefulness inside Mag's mind is getting jostled. This is this serenity that Mag is experiencing as she's locked into her brain is being threatened. Let's get a DC 13 flat check.
8.
Mag stays in her mind, and it is now Istin's turn. Istin, you are now surrounded by Urdefons. There's one attempting to hide, but clapping vigorously on the other side of a mushroom patch. What will Istin do?
So I'm sickened too, right? So if I retch, I can reduce it by 1, is that right?
You make a fortitude save, yes.
Yeah, I think he'll start by trying to do that.
Okay.
Tight quarters for throwing up, but I
Yeah.
get it.
You know, sometimes you gotta aim towards the clapping you hear and just let it go.
Just let it go.
Mark is like, oh God. As Istin starts retching. Give me a fortitude save, please.
Yes. Here we go. There it is. Ooh. 15?
That's not going to do it. You're still sickened.
All right. Interact to pull out the staff, and then Istin is going to use his conflux spell, spinning staff, to strike at 2 Urdefons.
Okay, and I'm going to say that Mag, because she's like down on the ground, is not going to provide lesser cover to the Urdefon that you see on the other side of Mag, the one that just broke that mushroom. So you get a clear shot at both of, at least at that one. But one of them is concealed.
All right, cool. And this does not change map or ignore map.
Okay.
So that'll be the first, 34?
That's a critical hit
Ooh.
because of Courageous Anthem. Which one was that targeting?
I think that one to the...
Okay, so the one that you can see clearly.
Yeah.
Great, so that's a critical hit.
Okay, amazing. And then, do you want me to roll damage or go to the next?
I do.
Okay, here we go. That one will take
Nice.
32 points of damage
Nicely done, Istin.
and 2d6 persistent vitality damage, which you said they're weak to, right?
I did, yeah.
Cool. All right, and so for the other one, let's roll the next map 5 strike at. That's a 17.
Okay, I need a flat check, please.
Okay. 17 again.
Okay, so that attack misses. The only reason I asked for the flat check is that I'm desperately trying to apply all the damage that you've done in the correct way, and it's sort of screwing me up, but I think I got it.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a miss. Sorry.
No worries.
That misses.
That's his turn.
Okay. So Istin, 2 quick strikes, grabs his staff, and it is now the turn of this laughing or clapping Urdefon.
That's probably laughing a little too.
So they're slowed. They only have 2 actions. So what they're going to do is they're going to run straight up into Ao's face, and they are going to extend a gnarly looking knife, this like weird bony barbed knife that this creature is holding.
Oh, the thing I called a sexy quill before.
That's right.
Yeah.
The sexy quill flies out towards Ao. A terrible strike. It slips as it tries to hit you, a 20 to hit.
That is not going to hit.
Okay, it's now Trill's turn as Trill sees this situation becoming more and more chaotic. Creatures hiding, clapping.
It must be hard to stab
invisible.
while you're clapping, right? Like that's got to be part of it.
What is the
it
sound
is.
of one hand
You're
stabbing?
like holding the thing and
Yeah, just-
extending it out towards you. It's a mess. What is Trill gonna do?
I think Trill's actually. Can she like just try and talk with them for a minute?
Sure.
What
do you want to accomplish?
I think she just shout, Why are you attacking us? What did we do?
You tread in our territory. You're invaders, and you look weak, you'll die.
Oh, well.
Okay. So that happens. So they say that. And Trill's going then to, okay, fine. And she's going to go ahead and cast Electric Arc. If they're going to be that way.
You will die. Ah!
So she's going to go for the injured and the the two injured ones.
Okay, how much damage do we have coming at us?
So that is 19 points of damage.
Nice.
Okay. So they're going to attempt to dodge out of the way.
Yeah, 27.
I need a flat
reflex.
check for one of these two, please.
That's an 11.
Okay, that passes. So they both jump out of the way. They take half of this damage, so each of them will take 9 points of damage as you electrocute them through the fungal outgrowth.
Okay.
Awesome.
Trill has another action still.
Yeah.
So with Trill's third action, she'll just prepare to aid AO.
Okay. So-
Distracting them with a song, with a performance.
Okay. So this ambush is underway. Ao is surrounded by these sort of vampiric-looking humanoids. What is she going to do? Keep in mind that the applause spell is a sustain. So if you want them to keep being slowed, you have to spend an action to sustain it.
Yeah, let's do that. No reason to not have them be slowed and clapping. It's, if nothing else, the flavor of it all is good.
It looks like they're about to stop clapping, and they're like, and like
Quill sort of feebly bopping around. How do we feel about did Ao have her kukri out or not?
I assume you have chompers out.
Chompers out.
Like I kind of always assume you have chompers
that's
out.
probably right. Okay, so I don't really have a good way. I guess I could try to create a diversion. And I'm going to do that by shouting, there's a whole 10 by 10 foot square of spiders behind you talking about your mom.
We've heard about these spiders, and they whip around to look at the spiders. Everyone's talking about these
Everyone's
spiders.
talking about these spiders.
Nang nang bonobo.
Nang nang bonobo. So...
Is
that
Trill able to aid that? Create diversion?
It sounded like you were aiding an attack,
Yeah.
so I would say no.
Okay.
So what did you
That
roll?
was a 25.
That works on everybody because of your ventriloquist ring. All three of them turn around and look at these spiders.
Look at that. Everyone is distracted. And then Ao tries to get an arrow off at the badly injured one. She's enjoying the clapping. Why kill someone who's clapping for you? Is what I always say.
Sure.
So she's gonna target this middle friend. And that is a 32 to hit.
32 to hit. The middle friend, you say?
Yes.
That is a critical hit.
Hey.
Nice.
And that is, did it also do my flat-footed or off-guard damage?
Yeah, totally.
That is 54 points of damage.
Yeah, for sure.
Well done.
So Ao is like, look at these spiders. They're like, what? And then arrow through the back of the head, and they tumble forward into the
And she
outgrowth.
makes some totally inappropriate comment about its mom, but we don't need to repeat it here.
No, it's better to not do those sorts of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for Ao's turn. They all turn around and they shout at you like, Nang Nang Bonobo!
Well, one of them's
Nang
clapping.
Nang Bonobo! It is now the beginning of round 3, and the Urdefon that is to the immediate southwest of Isthin, they start off by attempting to hide. They're just trying to hide from Isthin. They get behind one of these mushrooms. And they disappear from sight as Isthin tries to get a sense of what is going on with them, and a moment later, a blade strike flashes out towards Isthin. That's a 32 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, so Isthin is going to get punctured. He's like stabbed in the chest. He's going to take 10 points of damage and a d6 of bleeding damage. And also, the knife stays in Isthin's skin and he looks down and sees that his skin is starting to become translucent around this wound that this knife just stabbed into.
Oh, that can't be good.
Poor Iston. Why
And
is it always
Iston needs
Iston
to
who
make
gets the
a-
conditions?
He needs to make a fortitude save as he looks through his skin and sees his blood starting to get drawn towards this knife.
Oh boy. Do I have a hero point? Seems like I do. I'm gonna hero point that. Okay, 24.
That's a success. So a hero point well used. And Iston looks down. He resists, and this knife retracts from his skin. The creature's just like, nyang, nyang, bonobo.
Well, that's rude.
In Mag's consciousness, more chaos all around her. The peace that she is feeling is being threatened. Let's get a DC 11 flat check.
Mag. Hey!
16.
Mag's eyes snap open. She stands up, grabs her Earthbreaker, and flies into a rage. What does that look like?
Oh my goodness. There's still this eerie light blue glow emanating from her eyes and from her braid atop her head, from the metal joints of her armor and the armature of her weapon. And so it starts casting dancing light blue shadows around the nearby flora.
Mag experiences like a and the world snaps into focus. This piece is gone. She sees this grinning skull creature standing like right next to her. She smells this burning necrotic bomb that is still lingering in the air, and she realizes it's time to act. As this blue energy flows around Mag, something is different about her. What is she going to do?
There's definitely something different about her. Something that is the same about her is that she is going to smash things with a hammer. Here is that strike. It's a 38 to hit.
Nice.
That is
There
a critical
she
hit,
is.
but this creature is concealed. I need a flat check. As you target the one that is that was invisible, that is coated with this magical light from Trill.
It's a 9.
That passes because of Trill's fairy fire.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Trill.
Critical hit.
Did anyone else notice that David's dice changed color too?
That's cool.
Well, I had to be doing something during this episode. I'd actually meant to do it before my first roll of the episode, and I forgot to hit save. So I had to do it again.
Nice flowy and blue.
Yes. It's 42 damage.
Nice.
Made up of what type?
This is,
Can you do positive?
this is vitality damage.
It's spirit
It's
damage.
spirit damage.
Sound
Spirit
chicka wow
damage.
wow.
Yes, this
Call
is
that?
spirit damage.
That's
Did
like-
Mag's rage change from fury to spirit?
They do seem to be blue rage glasses.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
Character growth.
Hell yeah. That's
So Mag
cool.
smashes
She's not
out in
furious
this
anymore. The dragon's gone.
this trail of like blue spirit energy cascades off the hammer and slams into this Erdefon, who is made clumsy, who is made enfeebled by the crushing rune, and who needs to make a fortitude check in order to avoid the critical specialization of the hammer. That is a 1 on the die. So they are knocked prone.
Oh boy.
That's a failure, you mean? Critical failure?
What did I say?
You didn't. That's why I wanted.
Critical failure.
Yeah, I just wanted
critical
to hear you
failure.
say
1 on
it.
the die.
I just wanted
It was
to
a
follow up.
critical failure. I rolled the die bad. I'm a bad person.
I'm
Well,
kind of
that was the
picturing.
next step, Lars. You have to
Sorry,
set of
sorry.
leading questions.
I'm kind of picturing that sequence from Futurama when Fry drinks 1,000 cups of coffee. And that is and suddenly just reaches a new state of zen and moves on a different plane of existence. And I feel like that's Mag right now.
It might be Mag right now. And also Mag's got 2 more actions.
Yeah, Mag. Just knock this one over. And whenever it tries to get up, we're going to be able to pancake it with reactive strikes. So Mag feels satisfied with her handiwork over there, although the thing is still wheezing along. So she will turn her attention to the other one that is standing next to her.
Nice.
And we're going to try a slam down with that one.
Okay.
So the strike is going to have a map -5, but then if it succeeds, I'll have a chance to trip it at only a map -5 instead of -10.
Exactly. Yeah.
Woo! That's a crummy little roll. What episode is this?
A 186.
Okay. It's only a 19 to hit.
Okay, that misses. So Mag, thrown off balance by the strike on the first of these Erdefons, manages to miss. Isthin sees Mag stand bolt upright, instinctively striking out at the creatures around her. Isthin now back to back with Mag. What is this going to do?
I think, for one thing now, he's grinning. It's like, nice to have you back up with us. And he is then going to strike.
Can I use Inspire Stratagem for Isthin on this?
Please and thank you.
Yeah. Everyone's feeling amped. Mag's
Hell yeah.
back. There's blue stuff happening.
I like it. I like it. Mark's
Ayo
cowering behind
confused
us.
everyone with those
Mark's
spiders.
like, ah.
Shut up about the sword, Mark.
People change.
I really admired the way you just ripped the Band-Aid off that one. You know, it's the only way to deal with it. It's very mature.
So Inspire Stratagem is like Isthin taps back into this advice that Ao gave him early in the day and gets to roll twice.
Amazing. That is huge. All right, I'm gonna just spell strike using ignition and try and light this Erdefin up.
The one lying down.
No, the one still standing.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, that is an 8 for the first roll.
For a total of
25.
that hits.
That hits? Okay, we'll take it. 18 bludgeoning damage, 1d6 persistent vitality, and 22 fire damage.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Isthin reaches past Mag and Ao and lands this strike. An explosion as they wheel back, and as they come right back up. And this hit right on the button because you were reaching past everybody else. So this is like, even though Isthin's sick, because of this courageous anthem, this is able to get through. This white light wraps around the Erdefon, and they're taking this persistent damage, which is really, really bad for them.
Awesome. And then I guess with his last action, he'll just raise his staff into a parry position.
Okay.
Oh, actually, sorry. I'll use his arcane cascade stance. I haven't used that in a while. So.
Okay. Isthin enters his arcane cascade stance. As he does so, he bleeds for 3 points of damage and needs to attempt to recover.
Okay. Here we go. 15.
And he gets it.
Nice.
Okay. The Erdefon that just got struck by Isthin is trying to come up with options. They're going to take a risk. They're going to try to... they're going to... Do they have acrobatics is the question? They do. They're going to attempt to tumble past Ao. So here comes a tumble through. Ignore the one that was invisible. We'll take the out in public one. That's a 27 versus Ao's reflex DC.
Which is 29, so that fails.
Okay, so it tries to bump into Ao. It misses. As it does so, that was a move action, even though it didn't go anywhere.
Okay, so I can reactive strike that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to. Isthin, you can take the other one.
Sounds good.
34.
Thought for a minute Trill might be able to get off some needle darts and handle this, but
Wait, it might still need it, but might not need to. It's a 34 to hit the one to the northwest there.
34, another critical hit only because of the Courageous Anthem. This is a 3-hit Courageous Anthem. Let's just make it happen.
Thank you.
Hero point for Trill because of the multitude of hits that landed because of this. How is this critical damage from Mag?
58 damage.
Yeah, that's gonna do it, right? Yes. This creature shifts around and starts shaking, and you see its invisible flesh start to rot away, and a gas puffs off of it. And I need Ao and Mag to both make a Fortitude save. Okay. So how did Ao do on this?
21 for Ao.
So that means that Ao is going to take the full brunt of 25 points of void damage.
Dang.
Can I conjure that Grothlet again so that it takes the damage? Fancy!
How did Mag do on this?
37.
37 is it's a critical success.
It rounds
But
up
let's
to
just-
critical, yeah, for me.
Let's just imagine for a second that you had taken this damage. Mag, with this new spirit barbarian instinct that we're seeing, would have resisted that void damage. Void damage does less to Mag now. An interesting situation, as it is now Trill's turn. Trill sees these Urdefons start to fall. She is 10 feet away from one of these creatures that is lying down in the fungal growth, concealed from the invisibility compounded by the magical energy that she herself put upon it. What is Trill going to do?
So first action, I know it's difficult terrain, so Trill's just going to try and move 10 feet back. Can she do
Okay.
that?
Yes.
Okay. And then with their last 2 actions, she's just going to go ahead and I think Needle Dart should do it.
Hell yeah.
Cantrip. Let's do this thing.
Okay. Going to need a concealment check.
So that is a 34.
Okay, let's get the
and
flat
our
check.
flat check is a 2. Oh no, that's so annoying. You know what?
Just get a hero point.
I got 3 hero points, so let's go ahead and spend one of those on that.
Okay.
12.
All right, that 34 is a critical hit.
Nice.
Let's roll that damage, baby. So many D4s. That is 16 points, so 32 points of damage.
And as these needle darts fly out of Trill's instrument and lacerate this creature, their skin melts. They puff in a big explosion of gas, and Mag and Isthin both are subjected to 20 points of void damage, and I need a save from both of you.
26.
Yeah, okay, cool. How did Isthin do?
17.
Oof.
Okay, so Isthin's going to take all 20 points of these damage as this assault, this ambush upon the group meets a brick wall. Mag stands in front of you. She is different. Something has changed. The spirit flows around her. Mark shouts out, "Okay, I forgive you." And we'll pick up from there next time.
And Ao just begins mimicking the clap, but for Mag, it's like a slow. It's like a
That
slow
was so
clap.
good.
I
Yeah,
think we can all just do a slow clap for Mag now.
new Mag, Mag 2.0.
Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated fan content policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. The Roots of Ruin is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in The Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. Visit our website, tabletopgold.com, to learn more about us and our shows, join the Golden Horde to get access to more shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.